My name is DeGregorio-Rosen. I've been a nurse for 45 years. I'm going to talk about addiction, and I'm also going to present you with what a gentle approach to addiction can be. Because addiction is pretty widespread throughout the healthcare profession, contrary to what we'd like to believe. The idea of addiction is ancient. Confucius understood excessive use in all aspects of life, and he suggested moderation. The old rule of thumb is that 1/3 of our addicted population gets better. 1/3 stays the same and sometimes relapses and goes in and out, and the other third dies. Scary stuff, right? Okay, so let's take a step back. What exactly is addiction? Addiction is a complicated and multifaceted condition that affects our brain's neural pathways. It's chronic, and it depends on certain substances that cause impairments in activities of daily living. It is a condition of the mind, body, and spirit, and takes no prisoners. Addicted substances, as we well know, cause a feeling of euphoria and also feelings that avoid pain. Chronic substance use can disrupt the brain's normal balance. Now, we have this pain-pleasure reward system. It's that reward that strengthens this habit. It does push-ups outside of your body and whispers in your ear, and it creates a craving to do more. The system is known as your dopamine transmitters. Addicts, they seek help through conventional therapy, such as inpatient programs, 12-step recovery programs, and these programs, they work. The cycle of addiction is a vicious cycle. It is an insidious disease, and it tells us that we are not sick, but we are. You're very sick. In 2019, the American Society of Addiction Medicine described addiction as treatable, a chronic medical disease that involves interactions among the brain's circuits, genetics, environment, and individual life experience. Addicts use substances to engage in compulsive behavior. There is no single event or factor that causes addiction. It's its own private hell. There's no cure-based medicine for the disease of addiction. The recovery process is really based on spirituality, but that's a choice that must be made by that healthy part of us, by our soul, by our spirit. There's so many tools that we can use, and that's really a personal choice that we all make when we go into recovery. One of the tools that I find to be really useful is using CBD, because it's a leading ingredient in the plant. You know, it's part of that entourage effect. It's the other side. It's the side that's non-psychoactive. It's the side that does not get you high. But it is capable for relieving a vast number of symptoms. And those symptoms would probably be withdrawal, because it's non-psychoactive, nausea, the shakes, insomnia. Our endocannabinoid system, when you combine it with CBD, helps restoring balance, and that's really important. There's no shame in considering CBD in addiction recovery, but I will advise you and tell you that it is in conjunction with other therapies. So other therapy modalities shouldn't be just poo-pooed and passed aside because CBD is out there. We need talk therapy. We need group therapy. We need to read. We need to learn. We need to understand what the 12 steps of recovery are. Recovery, what does it do? It lies in treating the whole person and holistically, mind, body, and spirit. It also provides a path to the journey to sobriety. This is a gentle alternative. So I will tell you, namaste, my friends. Yoga is one of my favorite topics and tools. Yoga is based on spirituality, and its duality with the recovery process is supportive because the 12 steps in recovery coincide very closely with the spiritual principles of yoga. In yoga teachings, it is said that drugs and alcohol have adverse effects on our aura and creates weaknesses. This is one way that addiction can enter our energy field. We practice, we learn, we breathe. If you can breathe, you can do yoga. We find poses that work for us. We take direction. It teaches us how to make amends. We become accountable. Yoga teaches us discipline. And discipline is for that ongoing maintenance. And that's how we remain accountable in our practice. The complementary natures of holistic care using CBD therapy, talk therapy, yoga. We are now learning with psychedelics. Bill Wilson, the father of the AAA-NA programs, he went to Harvard and he did a session with some of the chemists there using LSD as a treatment for alcoholism. And it did work and he liked it. And he went back to his community and told them all about it. But like, you know what, they weren't having it. And the rest of the world, you know, so it got kind of like tossed to the wayside. We learned to accept and release our ego because although we practice our compassionate detachment, there are things to let go of because they're not good for us. And why I mention this is because it's an important factor for me. Because my name is Sue, and I'm a drug addict, and I'm an alcoholic in recovery. Oof, and that's a rough thing to say. I became addicted to benzodiazepines and alcohol. Those were my drugs of choice. Benzos because they were easy to get, as dangerous as they can be. They're really dangerous and they're really hard to get off of, and I can tell you that from personal experience. And alcohol because, you know, where do we go? We go to bars, we're with a bunch of people, you know, we're drinking. And so I drank more and I drank more and I drank more. After a lot of back and forth with my family and my loved ones and what have you, I crashed and burned. So I did enter a rehab. I had to go to detox. It was a nightmare. I was transferred to another rehab program, which was great. It was wonderful. And I was able to find my way out of this miserable hell I was in. It was a very scary time. I have been sober today is my sober anniversary, and I am sober for 9 years today. So with that, I give you this gentle approach. There's no shame in being addicted. And I was talking about my anxiety about opening myself up to all of you about me, about who I am. And she said to me, Sue, if you can reach one nurse that's afraid, that can't come out there, then you've done what you're supposed to do. And I hope I have. So thank you, everybody. Namaste and peace out.